Hi everyone, I hope everyone is doing really well. Welcome to 27th of January, the first month of 2025 is going on, and I hope you had a wonderful Republic Day yesterday and probably you were able to see some of the important visuals, if not the entire Republic Day parade, because always from Republic Day you hear some important announcements or some important tableaus come from which questions can come from. Obviously there's a point of view of academics, that is for your examination, and secondly, I always say that we should always watch Republic Day. We get to know from the defense to on various other parameters what is going on. So good morning everyone. Good morning, good morning. I think audio and video is clear to everyone. Now moving towards the important news. So before I proceed towards the news, the batch 2 of OGP program is starting on 6th of February 2025. It's an offline and online guidance program for 2026. The batch would be starting on February 6th of February. You can take admission, and this is the topmost course for your UPSC CSC comprehensive preparation for 2026 under the guidance of Vinay Sir, who is the founder and director of Insights IAS. And you can also get all the details by scanning this QR code. You can also join our Telegram channel where multiple initiatives have been started. And also we have started an initiative called P2P. The initiative is called P2P. That is practice to progress. It is started on our Instagram channel. The link of that you can get in the description, on which every day we would be putting 3 important UPSC CSE prelims based question with their answer, which will help you to tackle the UPSC prelims. So you can join that also. And for the thought for the day, you are stronger than you think. I don't know if I've taken this quote earlier on or not. Anyways, we are always, I think we have taken this earlier also. Maybe it's getting repeated, but anyways, what I want to tell you is that many people in the world will say that you might not be able to do this, or you don't have the capability to do this. In this context, I just want to tell you that, for example, you believe that you have a strength of 5 out of 10. Sometimes the other person outside you is also able to judge you better, or they believe that you have it in you. Sometimes your parents will say that you have the capability to do it. So believe in yourself. When you believe that you have 5, you actually have 8, 9. Like a body has unlimited potential, similarly you also have an unlimited potential. And always be looking towards positive side. You might be saying, sir, parents also talk negative about it. Listen to the negative. If you are able to find that yes, this negativity does exist in me, try to overcome that and keep moving forward. And if you find it that this is forcefully being spoken to me or deliberately, and I don't have this negative qualities, then you can work, then obviously you can avoid that and focus on your positive outcomes and positive goals. Now moving towards the important news for today. Republic Day parade taps into heritage, diversity and military might. So we'll be talking about 2 important news for today coming from Republic Day. It was celebrated yesterday. It was the 76th Republic Day of India. Okay, Army missile firepower thunders down Kartavya path in a show of strike option. Assam tea workers prone to post-TB fungal diseases study. India with Indonesia, the 2 Asian nations must now build on their historic ties. So the first news about what kind of tableaus were in Republic Day, who was invited, and what are some important facts related to 76th Republic Day. That's the first news. Second news, the Army missile firepower. It talks about the kind of missile strength we have, and we'll also talk about the battlefield system. Sanjay, if you see, Sanjay was a character or a very important character in the Mahabharata. My name is also Sanjay, which you know. So Sanjay was like, he used to tell what is happening on the Kurukshetra field live, like he was a live telecast, what you can say in today's terminology. So he used to give a live telecast of what is happening in Mahabharata to Dhritarashtra, who did not have eyes, who was blind. So he used to tell me, so he had Dividrashti. I don't know what is exactly the English term for that. So he had a Divyadrashti, basically he could see like if I'm sitting I'm taking this class and I can see what is happening in Delhi or some other place. Similarly, he had the capacity or the vision, or you can say he had the power to see what is happening in Kurukshetra war, and he used to tell live to Dhritarashtra, who was the king of Kauravas and Hastinapur. Okay, so in this context, this management system has been designed which will help the forces, specifically army, for understanding what is going in the live in the warfare, and which will help them in taking decisions. So once we reach the news, we'll talk about it. Good morning everyone. And India with Indonesia, definitely we'll talk about it. Indonesian president was here at chief guest as the 76th Republic Day. He's the fourth Indonesian head to come and give his pleasure presence out here. And in prelims decode, we'll talk about mission and ammunition terms. Two important terms are there which was used in the news. I would like to tell you which are these two terms which can come for your prelims question also. So moving forward, let's move towards the first important news. Republic Day parade taps into heritage, diversity, military might. And if you see in the last Republic Day, that was the 75th Republic Day, then Emmanuel Macron had come. Okay, so the president of France. So at that time, the buggy culture was started again. And in buggy culture, if you see, the President Draupadi Murmu and Indonesian President Prabowo Subianto, they are on the Kartavya Path, and you see this is a buggy. Okay, so initially if you see before this, the major trend was that they used to come in limousines. So after the assassination of Indira Gandhi, before Indira Gandhi assassination, the president used to come in the buggy culture. So buggy is like a cart and the horses would be in the front, but after the assassination of Indira Gandhi, it was stopped. Now it was again started after Emmanuel Macron, the president of France, and that time also, and even which we saw the buggy in Draupadi Murmu case and President Prabowo Subianto this year also. So if you see, this is the Republic Day parade, the pride of India. There is no doubt about that. And a lot of people from our Delhi team, like the Delhi Insights team, so some of them were very fortunate enough to go for the Republic Day parade. They had shown some photographs. So wonderful for them that Insights is celebrating Republic Day not only here, but many of our colleagues have gone to the Republic Day from the Delhi team, and they were part of this. So if they are going, and I feel that all of us are going. Okay, so Republic Day parade, heritage, diversity and military might. India celebrated Republic Day with a grand parade showcasing cultural diversity, military prowess, and the 75 years of the Constitution. And for the 75 years of the Constitution, there were two important tableaus also, which I will show to you, which they were very important. So President led the celebration with Indonesian President Prabowo Subianto as a special guest, and President Subianto's one reel or one video is getting very viral. Oh, one video. PDF of the class you will get after the class is over, after 1 or 2 hours, or probably after 1 or 2 hours it is updated, then you can download it, Vanishka. Okay, now coming back to this, where was I? President Subianto's video. So in President Subianto's video, he was talking about that, Prime Minister and all important high echelons were sitting, and he said that recently I tested my DNA and it shows that my DNA is India. My DNA is Indian. So that video has got very popular. It was trending on X and Twitter. And the other thing which is trending on Twitter and X, if you see, is the Coldplay concert. And when I saw for the first time the way Ahmedabad has been able to do that concert with more than 1.35 lakh people with no congestion and traffic, kudos and glory to Ahmedabad, Gujarat, and how India is growing. And those visuals were very stunning, and it shows that, obviously Ahmedabad is in Gujarat, but it also shows that how India as a country and infrastructure is growing, and we are putting the stamp, we are putting our foot onto the hegemony of various important countries which they feel they themselves are, from America to China, that India has not only arrived, India is taking large leaps, because this shows a very important soft culture. Anyway, so Republic Day, Kumbh Mela, and then Coldplay concert, and how, not the concert, around 1.35 lakh people in that stadium, Narendra Modi Stadium, and there was no, fortunately no stampedes and no congestion, traffic, and within 20-30 minutes you can reach to any part of the city. That also shows a great infrastructure. So in this Republic Day news, I'm covering this, that how infrastructure wise also the country is moving forward. So the theme for the Republic Day was Swarnim Bharat, Virasat or Vikas, Golden India, Heritage and Development. Now this can also be a change statement for your prelims question, that what was the theme. It was Swarnim Bharat. The Swarnim is gold. Okay, so it is Golden India, Heritage and Development. Parade began at 10:30 a.m. with Prime Minister Modi paying tribute at the National War Memorial. Now National War Memorial, please go and read about it from prelims perspective. 21 gun salute with indigenous 105 light field guns, so indigenous, made by India. A lot of focus on Make in India, Atmanirbhar Bharat. Tableau and cultural displays celebrated 150 years of Birsa Munda and 75 years of Constitution Spotlight, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Over 31 tableau represented states, ministries, armed forces. Tri-services tableau, Sashakt or Surakshit Bharat, emphasizing jointness and integration. So this is also that I keep on talk since I take security as a subject, so I keep talking about the integrated theatre commands. This is showing us that the theatre commands are coming, and there is no doubt about that. The theatre commands are coming. The tableau also came, and integration of theatre command is very important. And the tableau focus or the theme was Sashakt or Surakshit Bharat. Okay, so this is I'm talking about the tableau of Constitution of India, We the People, and this is also one of the tableaus which we saw for Constitution of India celebrating 75 years, and this is your Bihar tableau. It is celebrating the university. Okay, and moving forward, showcasing exquisite and artistic temples. This is Karnataka's tableau, and it was showcasing artistic temples of city of Lakundi. Now, this is how sometimes the prelim questions is made. They might ask you about city of Lakundi. They might ask you about, say, Takshila University or any other university which they feel is very important. Okay, they might ask you about this university, or for that matter, if we say go to this slide, this is showing about Nalanda University. Okay, so this tableau is focusing on Nalanda University. So UPSC might pick up some prelims question based on this, that since it was in the news, they might frame a question and ask you. So this is Bihar. This similarly, so I would recommend you that you go through this news. Okay, and the historic city of Lakundi. And this is that the integrated tri-services tableau which was shown. So theatre command question or a prelims based question might also come. If not, if some important news comes up, please try to follow if something is coming up, because I'm expecting it will come soon. Okay, and this was Uttar Pradesh. They obviously showed Kumbh, because Kumbh is going on, and within I think first 3 to 4 days around 4 to 5 crore or much more than had taken the first, taken that dip. More than 7,000 to 10,000 crore has already been spent by the government, and it's a infrastructure miracle which I will tell you, because from Oxford to big universities have gone there, and they are studying it, that how India is managing it. By the time the Kumbh will end, more than 40 to 45 crore people would have taken the dip, and this would be much more than the American population. Now this is a infrastructure, humongous infrastructure creation and managing it. And the way the government is managing, no doubt about it, kudos and glory to them. There might be some areas which can be improved. There's always been, but from artificial intelligence to face tracking to security to putting those drones and the underwater drones, they have done everything. And by the time this is over, it will generate more than 2 lakh crore of revenue. So whatever people say, this is temple money or whatever, if the business is generating, lot of people have gone, seen a video in which people are selling those neem stems or neem dantun, which we say, and they are making money. So it's a place, it's a paradise for business, and it's generating, it's just imagine 2 lakh crore 2 lakh crore of revenue which was generated. That will help a state like Uttar Pradesh, which desperately and definitely needs a lot of money to, it's a big state to develop. So overall, some very positive news coming. That is why I said Coldplay, then which we see here out, and the strength and heritage and culture which we are trying to show at the Republic Day parade also. Now this is also very important, tableau. Ethicopakka wooden toys. These are eco-friendly toys. Okay, these are eco-friendly toys. So a question can come from this Andhra Pradesh, or rather from this Ethicopakka wooden toys. They might give you 2 to 3 statements and ask you about these toys, that they probably put a statement that it comes from Karnataka and these are eco-friendly toys XYZ. They can frame a prelims based question and ask you. So please go and read about these toys. Eco-friendly Ethicopakka wooden toys and eternal heritage. Okay, very important. Now moving forward, apart from that military march and participation which happens regularly throughout the Republic Day, it continued. Yes, Bhuvan, obviously. And this is also the Bhuvan, this is also, since we know that this Kumbh is happening after 144 years. So this Kumbh is very different from the other Kumbhs, Ardh Kumbh and other Kumbh. And by now, the number of people in the first 3-4 days only were breaking the records, and the infrastructure creation is massive, because from Steve Jobs' wife to so many foreigners have come and they've given such positive statements about it, that how it has been handled. So anyways, coming back to the news, participation of regiments like Jat Regiment, Garhwal, Jammu and Kashmir Rifles Regiment. This every year we see different regiments come and they put their contingents. Indonesian contingent was also there in this Republic Day. But the important news is, first ever Tri-Services Joint Operation Room displayed. So whenever you are talking about first ever Tri-Services, this is basically telling you integrated theatre commands are on their way. It is just a matter of time when they will get implemented on the ground. I mean to say, the groundwork has already started. We had also covered a news, I think we had covered that news last week when I told you that the Army and the Air Force air defense preparedness is coming together. So slowly and steadily, for example, Army has 10 departments and say Air Force has 10 departments. So they are joining those departments, and eventually Navy would also get joined into this. So the effort and the work to work on the ground for theatre commands has started. Special guest and attendance, 10,000 special guests were there, with over 77,000 passes were issued. Performance of by 300 cultural artists, Shehnai, Nadaswaram and Ranasingha. Now these two become again a culture-based question from your MCQ can come in your prelims regarding what is Nadaswaram and Ransingha, and this can become part of your art and culture. So Republic Day will also tell you that what is in the news, so go back and read about them. So Veterans Tableau theme, Viksit Bharat ki or Sadiv Agarsar, the people who have been retired from the forces. So Veterans Tableau was also there. So the conclusion, the national anthem it ended with the national anthem release of balloon celebrating 75 years of the constitution. In the fighter jets, you had Sukhoi, Rafale, C-130J, Hercules, and helicopters, Apache and everything was there, which were shown, which is almost now regular at Republic Day. So that were also shown in the recent Republic Days, which we also see is that when I used to watch Republic Day was, for example, when I was 17, 19, 20, 20, even till 30 years, that mostly the planes were shown. You never knew what is happening inside the cockpit. But I think even this year, we have started seeing, we also get the videos and glimpses what is happening inside the cockpit. We can also see the pilots when these, jets are flown over the Kartavya path. The event highlights India's unity, development and commitment to its heritage and security. Now, considering the following statements about the Republic Day, let's go MCQ question. The theme was Vikasit or Virasat India. Not India at 75, right? And it was golden. A Tri-Services tableau was showcased for the first time, correct? The event featured performances by cultural artists playing traditional instruments, correct? So second and third are correct. So B is the correct answer. Okay. It was the theme was Swarnim Bharat Vikasit or Virasit or Vikas, heritage and development. So it was Golden India, heritage and development, not India at 75. Women contingents were highlights of the parade. The Air Force flyby is one of the best parts of the celebration. Yes, a lot of women contingents which we saw. Indian Coast Guards, the Indian Coast Guard tableau also, women officers was there. CRPF contingent also was led by Assistant Commandant Aishwarya M. And a lot of contingents. This we have now started seeing that a lot of contingents led by female officers are coming, and that is definitely showing a lot of women empowerment. Okay, moving forward, and even if I'm correct, in Rafale also, when the Rafale fighters were flown, one of the pilot was a female pilot. I don't remember her name, but probably Shivangi. I don't remember the rank. Squadron leader Shivangi. Probably I might be wrong, but it was one of the pilots was female also. Anyways, it's growing, after a point of time, we are today talking about that females are leading the contingents. 10 years from now, nobody would be talking about it. And that is very good. After 10 years, nobody should talk about it because it should become part of our natural system and muscle memory. That, yeah, it's very common that in India, women are leading the contingents. That is because then it will become very normal. Okay, this is happening. But today when it happens, it's like breaking the ceiling. But in 10 years, if this continues, the evolvement of women in various other areas improve, that is something saying about our country. Okay, now moving towards the next important news. Army missile firepower thunders down Kartavya Prat in show of strike option. This is Pralay. It's a quasi-ballistic missile for conventional warfare. It is not used for nuclear warfare. It is for conventional warfare. Okay. So in nuclear warfare, obviously, you will have the nuclear payload and nuclear material. So 76th Republic Day parade highlighted India's missile capabilities, advanced surveillance system. That is where Sanjay comes. Your battlefield surveillance system, Sanjay, which I was talking about. Since Sanjay in Mahabharata, he had the live telecast, he had the Divya Drishti, or he had the visions, which I can say live vision of what is happening in the battlefield. Similarly, battlefield surveillance system will give the eyes. It would be the eyes and ears, like Sanjay was the eyes and ears for Mahabharata for Dhritarashtra, telling him life. Similarly here, it would be the eyes and ears for the security forces to know what is happening at the battlefield, and then they can take appropriate decision depending upon on what stage of warfare they are. So the Army missile power showcased tactical strike option for the Indian Army. Missile system, artillery upgrades, all was shown. So some of the important areas, some of the important systems which were shown at the Republic Day was BrahMos supersonic missile, pinpoint accuracy, range of 290 to 500 kilometers. In this range, and when you talk about supersonic missile, BrahMos in this range is the world's best supersonic missile. It can evade most of the radar systems. Second is Pralay quasi-ballistic missile, India's first ballistic missile for a conventional load, featuring twin launcher system in a flexible range. Pralay was also there. This is for conventional loads, and it has a twin launcher system. Then is Pinaka multi-rocket launch system. So it has now it has extended range. Earlier its range was around 35 to 40 kilometers. Now the range has exceeded to 75 kilometers, and has the capability of firing 72 kilometers in 44 seconds. So once this system starts, wherever it drops, it is all smoke and dust when this missile hits. That area is gone. Just imagine 72 rockets in 44 seconds. It is like, almost in a second, 2 rockets are going. Okay. Not exactly 2, but, much more than 1, I believe. So a BM-21 Grad is there. Okay, so BM-21 Grad, this is a 122 mm MRLS. This is also multiple rocket launching system used effectively during the Kargil war. So it was used in the Kargil war. Now a new truck has been given, new transportation system has been given to it. So your BM-21 has been upgraded for better mobility and payload capacity. Payload capacity, the weight and the ammunition can be carried more. So if you see, this is your Pralay quasi-ballistic missile system, which was shown, and the image itself shows that the prowess and how this system can decimate your enemies, okay, specifically your arch enemies. So this is Pralay quasi-ballistic missile system. Then moving forward, this is that which I am talking about, BM-21. So Indian Army 122 upgraded Grad multi-barrel rocket launcher system. This was used in Kargil war also, but now it has been upgraded with this new truck system. Okay, so this has been upgraded. And next is your battlefield surveillance system. This has been developed by the Indian Army and Bharat Electronics Limited at a cost of 2,400 crores to be inducted in brigades and corps between March and October this year. Advanced Towed Artillery Gun System, ATAGS, an indigenous artillery system developed by DRDO, featured in the tableau. So multiple systems, multiple missile and artillery system were shown in Republic Day. Basically I won't say, these systems are more or less shown. From geopolitical point of view, they are also a little bit of flex, if I can use this word, because it shows to the world that this is just some of the system which we want to show to the world. There might be other system which we are building, but we are not telling. Obviously, if we are already having this kind of system, just imagine if you do a war with the damage, how much damage can be done at the other end. Okay, so the Pralay missile has been completed trial and capable of neutralizing the enemy war potential before battle begins. The work on guided Pinaka rocket aimed to extend to 300 kilometers. So from 30, 40 to 72 it has gone now. Now they 75 kilometers it has gone. Now they want to take it to 300 kilometers. If you see, the BrahMos range is also around 290 to 300 kilometers, and they are working on now the BrahMos 2 also. Specialized ammunition for Pinaka includes pre-fragmented rockets and area denial munitions. These are the two important ammunition or defense terms which I want to discuss, that if they come in the examination, that what are pre-fragmented rockets and what is area denial munitions, which are part of Pinaka. Pinaka is that multi-rocket, multiple rocket barrel system which releases around 72 rockets in 44 seconds. So pre-fragmented rockets. So if you say pre-fragmented rockets have a warhead that is broken, the warhead which will go and blast, that is broken into fragments before detonation. So before the blast happens, the fragments are already broken. The fragments are high velocitile and lethal and are main destructive force of the weapon. So these broken and fragmented parts, when the blast happens, the velocity of these broken parts is so high that it will break and destroy and everything. That is why they use pre-fragmented rockets. So the fragments they have the capacity of very high velocity, they are lethal and they destroy anything which comes in their way, and this destructive force of the weapon increases. So this is pre-fragmented rockets in which they have a warhead that is broken into fragments before detonation. So before detonation, this fragmented rocket system would be there, and then it will blast and it will go in the inside. Wherever it is blasted, the area would be taken down. Second important term which is area denial munitions. Area denial munitions. So these are weapons used to prevent enemies for using certain areas or routes. They can be used to disable enemy tanks, armored vehicles and personals. So in area denial munitions, if you see, it can disable enemy tanks, armored vehicle and personal. So if you see in Pinaka, it has the capability. This is special urbanization, area denial munition, effectively against both personal and tanks. So Pinaka can be used to destroy people, Pinaka can be used to destroy tanks, Pinaka can be used for system. For example, if say some Pakistani mobility system is being used for personal, Pinaka has the capability to destroy that system. So Pinaka has pre-fragmented rockets and Pinaka has area denial munitions. This is very important from the point of view of your prelims questions also. Okay. So BM-21 critical during the Kargil war. Now it has been added with indigenous Ashok Leland Super Stallion platform for improved mobility, and the payload capacity has been increased. BrahMos detachment from 344 missile regiment. So which is the regiment related to BrahMos missile? 344 missile regiment is related to BrahMos detachment. In conclusion, missile system displayed India's commitment to indigenous defense development, Make in India, and it is important to show Make in India because Indonesian president is there and he is interested in buying the BrahMos. Philippines has already taken that. So it is important to show that how our weapon systems are improving and how you also can take the systems, and obviously it also shows to the world that how our improvement is happening. Yes, we are buying a lot of weapons from outside, but slowly and steadily we are creating our own. So the Pralay and Pinaka system reflects India's growing focus on modern warfare capabilities, self-reliance and defense production, and also systems like Sanjay, that it is not only missile creation which we are doing, we are also thinking about live, having ears and eyes in the battlefield system which are related to based on modern technology. Let's come to a question. Pralay is the India's first quasi-ballistic missile designed for both conventional and nuclear roles. No, it is not for nuclear roles, it's for conventional role. The upgraded Pinaka system can deliver a salvo of 72 rockets in less than a minute. Yes, 44 seconds. BrahMos missile system is indigenously developed tactical cruise missile. Yes, indigenously developed with joint collaboration of Russia. Okay, joint collaboration with Russia. So Pralay is designed for conventional roles, not nuclear. Now moving to the next important, Assam tea workers prone to post-TB fungal disease study. Now, if you remember, last week we had done two important news related to TB. One was an editorial, I think we did on Friday or Saturday, in which the editorial was talking about how it is important to, like how hashtag TB and end TB, it was related to that and how government has been working. The number of deaths related to TB are coming down. Number of people reporting TB cases are increasing. So that is a good news. But still a lot needs to be done. Then one more news was there which was related to National Health Mission, which started in 2013 by subsuming two important missions, rural and urban, in which it showed that the numbers related to tuberculosis are coming down, sickle cell anemia, MMR, maternal mortality rate, these numbers are coming down. So tuberculosis we are improving. Now this third news is again related to tuberculosis, but this is after tuberculosis, that if you are an active patient or if you have been a patient of tuberculosis, so what are the effects, what are the later effects of tuberculosis? So a study has revealed which says that if you have been, what are the post-TB effects? So post-TB there can be a fungal disease which is related to something called chronic pulmonary aspergillosis. Chronic pulmonary aspergillosis. It is also known as CPA. CPA is the full form. CPA stands for chronic pulmonary aspergillosis. It is a life-threatening fungal infection. Is prevalent among tuberculosis survivors and Assam tea plantation workers. So people who have survived tuberculosis, they suffer from this. Okay, so if you have been a TB patient, then you might suffer from this, and people who are with active TB, they might also suffer with this, and this is more prevalent in tea plantation area of Assam. So research highlight post-TB health challenges, underscoring the need for improved diagnosis and care. So it is also called CPA, and CPA stands for chronic pulmonary aspergillosis. Okay. So TB is a persistent issue in Assam tea belt. If you remember, we had discussed this on Saturday, I think Friday, Saturday editorial, that tuberculosis is much more prevalent in area there which are claustrophobic, and if there are more TB patients, they sneeze, their TBA will be, TB would be increasing in that area. So TB prevalence in Assam, Brahmaputra and Barak valleys, 217 per 1 lakh population. So national TB prevalence 2019 to 2021 shows that TB prevalence in Assam's area is high because of some of the factors: poverty, poor nutrition, kitchen smoke, close contact with infective patients and congested living condition. This leads to TB as a persistent problem in Assam belts. Small and congested area, claustrophobic area, if somebody sees this who is suffering from TB, the chances of it increase, other people getting it increases. Okay. Now chronic pulmonary aspergillosis, this is post TB. So it is caused by Aspergillus fumigatus, a fungus affecting immunodeficient individuals. That is why in the previous slide we used the words poverty, poor nutrition and vitamins. This that leads to this problem. So it occurs in damaged lung cavities, especially in post-TB or active TB patients. So the post-TB patient, their lungs are weak. An active TB patient, definitely the lungs are weak. And if you stay in these tea plantation area, because of the condition, poverty, claustrophobic areas, the chances of you getting CPA would be very, very high. Chronic pulmonary aspergillosis. Similar symptoms with TB such as chronic cough, fatigue, hemoptysis, that is coughing blood. Please also remember this word, hemoptysis and chronic blood. Hemoptysis means chronic blood. Coughing blood, not chronic blood, coughing blood, that when you cough, the blood also comes out. So that is hemoptysis. So study details, it was conducted by researcher from Assam Medical College and published in PLOS, Neglected Tropical Diseases. It examined 128 patients from Tea Garden Hospital in Dibrugarh district. CPA prevalence is overall 17.18%. Assam CPA prevalence, if we talk about, 60 cases per 1 lakh people, exceeding the global average. Global average is 42, and in Africa it is around 20 to 50. So even African countries are doing better than us. So this is something which the state government and the central government should see, that how to reduce TB, and most importantly CPA cases needs to be brought down. So what are the recommendation by the researchers? Testing for aspergillosis antibodies in patients. Specifically post TB treatment, they need to see, they test for that they have aspergillus antibodies or not. Second is that we also need to train healthcare people about CPA, because people in these areas, doctors, nurses, the staff, they are not aware about the issue of CPA. So campaigns to train healthcare providers to recognize CPA symptoms, educate workers on respiratory health, hygiene and nutrition so that they don't get this CPA problem. Fourth, connection to epidemic dropsy. So dropsy is also a problem. So it's a 2-year-old study highlighted epidemic dropsy caused by Arjamon Mexican contaminated oil as another health risk in Assam tea belt. So this problem of dropsy had come to Delhi also. I think I used to be in school. That time it was related to, I think if I'm not correct, if I'm correct, it was related to mustard oil. I probably would have been in, I think around, I don't exactly remember the class, somewhere between 7th to 10th I was there, and this had come. So probably 9th or 10th, if I'm correct, that this problem of dropsy had come. Now this problem is in Assam, so they need to take care of this, and this epidemic dropsy is related to caused by Arjamon Mexican contaminated oil. So I think in this the body become quite weak, and there's a problem with the legs. So study underscores the health vulnerabilities of Assam tea workers, emphasizing the urgent need of early diagnosis, so that if the diagnosis happen early, then you can take preventable cure and medicines can be taken. So better healthcare access, awareness campaign, and addressing post-TB fungal infections. Let's come to a question. CPA primarily affect individual pre-existing lung conditions such as TB survivors. CPA prevalence in Assam is lower than the global average. No, it is higher than the global average. That is the news. It is higher than the global average, higher than the African nations. CPA is caused by a fungal infection from Aspergillus fumigatus. So third statement is right, first statement is right. So B is the correct answer to this question. Okay. So answer 1 and 3 explanation. CPA prevalence in Assam is higher than the global average. So this we have done. Moving forward with this, IPM 1.0 test series 2026. This is starting from 25th January. It has already started. It includes 106 tests, 54 prelims, and 52 mains tests. So if you are looking for integrated prelims come mains test, this is the course which you can go, which will help you for your UPSC CSC preparation. For all details, you can call on the number 8069 40 52 05, and you can also scan the QR code for all the details, or you can go on our website where all the details would be available. Now coming to the editorial. So editorial today is related to India with Indonesia. So obviously, the Republic Day had happened, and this editorial covers that lot of heritage and good talks were done. Some around 5 MOUs were signed, but the expected MOU on the BrahMos did not happen, which we were expecting. So Indonesian President Prabowo Subianto visit to India as a chief guest at RDE parade. Symbolic celebrations were there, historic and strategic ties between the two nations, but outcomes were limited because we were expecting that the final deal related to BrahMos will come out, but it did not. So let's see, probably it will take some time, or the last minute negotiations might be on. And even in 2 days, the Indonesia did meet Adani and other Tata for investment in Indonesia, but the deal related to BrahMos was still not finally signed. So his ancient ties include, if we go in the history, trade, travel, and the spread of Javanese Hinduism, Sanskrit literature, Vedic culture. Indonesia is the country with the highest Muslim population. They have lot of Hindu temples, culture. They also celebrate Ramayana. If you go and read about Indonesian temples, so lot of things which we celebrate, they also celebrate. So there's a lot of connection with Indonesia. Subianto was the 4th president, or the 4th head of Indonesia, which has come for the Republic Day. Pattern 3 had come. If we see about from the Bandung conference to non-aligned movement, we have a lot of relationship with Indonesia. Just to tell you, if I talk about Jawaharlal Nehru, so Jawaharlal Nehru had banned Dutch overflights in aiding Indonesian leaders during the independence movement. During colonial era, India supported Indonesia fight against Dutch imperialism. They had also stopped Dutch flights over India to support Indonesia. And the Bandung Conference and the formation of non-aligned movement solidified their post-colonial solidarity against great power politics, that they are NAM basically came that we are not aligned with the Soviets and we are not at all aligned with the capitalists or the Americans. Now, contemporary strategic alignment, shared concerns include for both the nation US-China rivalry and China's aggressiveness in the Indo-Pacific. US-China rivalry, I think in the coming 4 years would increase, and Indonesia would also more or less get aligned with Quad, and the Americans, some of the American important people will visit Indonesia in coming days. There is no doubt about that. Food, fertilizer and fuel security, this was majorly a problem after the Russia-Ukraine war. I think the Russia-Ukraine war should come to an end by the next 3 to 4 or maximum 6 months. Then we can, then definitely this problem will get resolved. And America is also now drilling, so one more oil producing country you will get. Weakened multilateralism in global forum. This is a problem because Donald Trump also doesn't believe in multilateralism, multilateral countries. He believes in bilateral treaties. So multilateralism in the coming 4 years of his presidency might reduce because he has already come out of the WHO, he's come out of the Paris Accord. And when America comes out of WHO and Paris Accord, they are the biggest funders to them. This entire fight against climate change and WHO standing will go down the drain. There is no doubt about that. Collaborative efforts were evident in forging consensus at the G20 summits in Bali and Delhi 2023, which India do. G20 I still will be important. G20 would be important. SCO, BRICS would be important. BRICS is something which Europe and America would worry about. But, BRICS might also become very important for Europe, because currently Europe and America is also having a lot of, what I say that the relationship between the American and European ties are becoming complex, because generally after winning the elections, the first meeting and the first official international visit of the America used to happen with UK. But even in the last presidency of Donald Trump, he went to Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. And probably he might also go again if Saudi Arabia invest more money in that country. And the second important thing is that first official meeting, foreign affairs meeting, happened after Donald Trump taking the presidency, was related to Quad. So and he's talking about putting a lot of taxes on the European countries, and he's saying that if you want America to take care of your defense, then you need to put 5% of your budget. And he has stopped the Ukraine funding. The Ukraine funding has been stopped. So not great news for the Europe at this point of time. So they might push or even help BRICS go, who knows. Though in BRICS there are emerging economies. Indonesia recent inclusion in BRICS further aligns the two nations' strategic interest. Okay. Outcomes of the visit: 5 MOUs signed in healthcare and traditional medicine, maritime security, digital development, and cultural cooperation. So these are the areas which they have said. Cultural cooperation is good. Digital development, maritime security, these are some important areas. Now, two areas which was, which we wanted to hear the news was the sale of BrahMos missile to Indonesia, and second was development of Sabang port project, and APEC Andaman connectivity. These two were the ones which we are waiting for, that the Sabang port, the development of that port, and H Andaman connectivity or ASE Andaman connectivity, and BrahMos missiles. This we did not hear any important confirmations on that. No important statements came. So we'll have to wait once they come. So future opportunities, obviously these now becoming future opportunities will sign in the future. So visit emphasizes in areas like defense connectivity, geopolitical cooperation, and how both the countries are very important from the point of view of South Asia and Southeast Asia. So we are still waiting for some substantial breakthrough specifically related to BrahMos, and the second is the Sabang port connectivity or ACE or ASE Andaman links. Let's see once that happens. So we have a mains question. Discuss the historical and strategic significance of India-Indonesia relation and the steps needed to strengthen bilateral ties in changing geopolitical context. So this is an important mains question, and I've also given some important statements which you can go through, which will help you in making your answer. Okay. In the extra mile, what is extra mile? Extra mile is that editorial or a news piece which you should go and read. It's important, which is given my side. If you want to put efforts, you can go through that. So India space program breaks into 2025 in mission mode. So you can go. Hopefully government is aiming to get rid of TB by this year. Bali gets very high number of Indian tourists. More could have happened in Indonesia visit, but it fell short. True. Yes, a lot of expectation was there. Specifically, BrahMos was something which Indonesia was focusing. I probably think there might be issues related to price, because technology and product is not an issue, or there might be some last minute, foreign affairs or some file or some statements or some clauses which needed to be signed. I think it should get signed in the future. Okay, so you can also follow ICANN 2.0, which is taken by Sapna ma'am. And thank you very much. I hope you did like today's session. We'll catch up tomorrow. And thank you very much, and Jai Hind.